You may be seated. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen and veterans. I would like to welcome you to our 2024 Memorial Day ceremony here at the Texas Panhandle War Memorial Center. My name is Doug Messer. I'm a former U.S. Air Force veteran and Army veteran, and I'm also here on the board of directors at the War Memorial and a member of the Voters for Veterans. I will be your MC for today's ceremony. Today I'd like to recognize a special guest, and if you would just sit where you're at, and then once I'm done recognizing everyone, then I'll have you stand up. Without the generosity of our guests, this would not happen. The first set of guests is our sponsors. Dwight Wise, in honor of Cletus LeBeau, was our platinum sponsor. Amarillo National Bank, Wolfland Mortgage Company, Petaloo Dawkins, Street Toyota, Patera Energy, our War Memorial volunteers in honor of those who died serving us, and then our patriots, Brooks Funeral Home, Brooks Funeral Directors. I want to say a special thanks to those from the local government, both state and federal. I want to recognize, I didn't see Christy, but Randall County Judge Christy Dyer, are you here? There you are. Okay. Thanks for coming. And your Commissioner's Court, Randall County Master Gardeners, Randall County Maintenance, the Boy Scouts, Valero, the Conservatives of Texas. Also, from the city, I would like to recognize Mayor Cole Stanley. Saw you earlier when you sitting that, Cole, back over here, your wife and your counselors, Sherlin, Kraft, Tips, and Simpson. And then also Commissioner Boatley. Are you here from? Okay, there you are. All right. Are there any other local elected officials that have come that I haven't recognized? Thank you. Thank you. Look, I want to recognize Honorable Ronnie Jackson from the U.S. House of Representatives. He's up here on the stage. He's with us today. Thank you all for taking your time to come and support our War Memorial. Would you please stand and be recognized? Let's give them, our officials, a big hand. That was backwards, but it was okay. It was okay. Let's see. At this time, Memorial Day is a federal holiday. I know that's nothing new to 99.9% of you, but it's always held on the last Monday of the month of May, and in honor and remembrance of our fallen veterans of the United States of America. To remember every war, to remember every service member, and to remember is to honor. That's what we do. That's what we all should do as a citizen of this great country we live in, and that is our principles and our ultimate goal here at the Texas Panhandle War Memorial. At this time, our invocation today will be given by Dr. Jonathan DeBoer, commonly known as Sky Pilot. I won't go into that right now, but he will come and give our invocation. He's an active duty. He was an active duty chaplain in the Army for over 20 years. He's a member of the 82nd Airborne Division, the 101st Airborne Division, and he retired from the Army in 2005 and lives in Amarillo. Following retirement, he continued to serve our nation in the drug and alcohol program as a counselor for the Department of the Army. He's a licensed psychotherapist and through the Veterans Affairs. He's also in private practice. His primary area of interest, though, is to continue to be centered around veterans and taking care of us as veterans. He has a doctorate in Christian counseling, a master's degree in psychology, divinity, and of course a bachelor's degree in religion. He's a clinical fellow from the American Association of Marriage and Family Therapists. At this time, I'd like to have Jonathan come up and do our invocation. Would you please stand for the invocation?
Our most loving Father, we pause to remember. We have turned off our grills, set aside our spatulas, and gathered together to remember on this most solemn day. We are proud to be Americans. We are proud of our history. We are also proud of what it means when we say we are Texans. We truly have a great heritage. But on this day, we especially remember those who've gone before us, those men and women who answered not only the call to serve, but fought so courageously that they gave their full measure of devotion for something far greater than themselves, liberty and freedom. So more than flowers and flags upon their graves, may we who remain pick up the flag they were carrying, that banner of liberty, and not let it fall on the ground to be trampled upon and forgotten. May we remember, and having remembered, stand firm. As long as we stand, may we carry on and never let their ultimate sacrifice have been in vain. So for those who have fallen before us, we thank you for their devotion and sacrifice. We honor them with more than words, but with our renewed commitment to carry on. Father, remind us that we can still have hope while living in this broken world. Remind us that right now, at this very moment, you provide continuous power to give us grace and abundance, that we will always, in all things, at all times, having all we need, abound in everything we do. May you continuously power up within us your strength and all grace and abundance, that we might always be pleasing in your sight. In the name of him who gives life and sets us free. Amen.
Please remain standing for the presentation of colors. Our presentation of colors today will be carried out by the Panhandle High School United States Air Force ROTC program, directed by Master Sergeant B-Tag. Today, our Pledge of Allegiance to the flag will be led by Army veteran and board member Todd Wetzel. Todd.
Will you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Todd. At this time, the national anthem will be sung by Miss Heather Anthony from Amarillo.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You may be seated. Today's flyover was provided by Kurt Landis and the Panhandle War Memorial. If there's a doctor here, medical doctor here, we have a lady that we think's having her back over here in the back. I'd like to mention the flyover today is provided by Kurt Landis and the Panhandle War Memorial. So at this time, we're going to recognize the Gold Star families. I would like to recognize the Gold Star and White Star families in attendance today. They're predominantly down here on the front two rows, unless some came in later. But at this time, the board and Melody, you're going to go ahead and pass out the flowers. This program was initiated during the World War I. Title Gold Star distinguishes family members who lost their loved one in memory of their service. Today, immediate family members receive a Gold Star from the Department of Defense to honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice. The White Star designation recognizes families who have lost service members to suicide. Veterans are at a higher risk of suicide than those who haven't served. And since 2001, we have lost well over 114,000 members. veterans due to suicide. So if you need help, talk to somebody at the VA or VFW. There's several counseling groups in the area. Please talk to them. Go to White Star Families. Thank you for attending and honoring your service members' sacrifice. Please know that you have your community's back and support in your healing process, and that you're not alone. At this time, I'd like to have the Gold Star and the White Star family stand so we can see you and honor you. Stand. Please. You may be seated. So at this time, I'd like to bring our Executive Director, Tim Reed, up to give us an update on what's going on here at the War Memorial. Tim?
Good morning. My name's Tim Reed. I'm the Executive Director of the Texas Panhandle War Memorial. And once again, I want to thank the sponsors for today. Embassy Suites, Bubba 33, Whitney Russell Printing, Dwight Wise, Amarillo National Bank, Street Toyota, Patty Lou Dawkins, Pantera Energy, Brooks Funeral Directors, and the Texas Panhandle War Memorial volunteers. Without their kind and continued support, our ceremonies to honor and remember our veterans would not be possible. Thank you for that support. I want to direct your attention to our memorial gardens behind me. The red, white, and blue Veterans Memorial Garden is a thing of beauty. It's a fitting tribute to our fallen veterans and all veterans, but it would not be possible without the hard work and dedication of the Randall County Master Gardeners. My heartfelt thanks goes out to each one of you who gives so selflessly. This is a great Memorial Day to be here at the Texas Panhandle War Memorial and Education Center. As you sit and listen to our speakers, the patriotic songs, and the ceremonial displays of colors, and the wreath laying, remember why you are here. To remember and honor those men and women who courageously gave their lives on the battlefields, on the high seas, and in the air. They did that so you and I can live our lives in the promises of liberty. We were born free because of sacrifices made by the generations before us and today's present generation who serve. Our duty as citizens of the United States is to repay that debt and to honor and remember those brave souls who made our freedom possible. To our Gold Star families and White Star families, we look with compassion on you and thank you for those you gave to us and for us. As General Patton said, it is foolish and wrong to mourn these men. Rather, we should thank God that they ever lived. This is the reason the Texas Panhandle War Memorial exists. The Memorial Center pays tribute to our local heroes, like Medal of Honor recipients Thomas E. Creek and Charles Roan, and now Dwight Birdwell. USS Indianapolis survivor Cletus LeBeau, our 175 Purple Heart recipients, and soon 7 women from the Panhandle who in World War II broke barriers and trained our men how to fly our bombers. Today, take your time to visit our education center inside and test your knowledge of the United States' involvement in wars beginning with the Revolutionary War right through the Afghanistan War. Shortly, we will be adding an exhibit to our POWs and the POW camps that were here in the Panhandle in Hereford and McLean. The exhibit will portray how POWs were treated in captivity, from the cruelty of living in wooden cages, being forced to walk hundreds of miles, being killed by their captors because they were too weak to move, and the torture they endured. But it will also tell us a story of the POWs in Hereford who used their talents on the interior of St. Mary's Church in Umbarton, and the German POWs in McLean who helped the local farmers with planting and harvesting. We'll also be expanding the exhibit to the USS Indianapolis to honor Cletus LeBeau from Memphis, Texas. He treaded water for 5 nights and 4 days, and watching his ship sink after being torpedoed by a Japanese sub on its return from delivering the components of Fat Man and Little Boy. It was in those cold, dark waters of the Pacific he witnessed his shipmates drown, be eaten by sharks, or killing themselves. To keep up with what's going on at the War Memorial, go to our webpage and sign up for our monthly newsletter. Walk around these beautiful gardens and read the names of the 1,550 fallen who gave their last breaths for those things we take so nonchalantly because we have the luxury they fought for. In order to do this, we rely on your generosity. We receive no federal, state, or local funding. It is only through your giving spirit that this memorial exists. There is a donation box in the back. There's a QR code out here for your convenience, and you can also donate on our webpage. This is your Texas Panhandle War Memorial. Be proud that we are now part of the greatest generation and the next generation, when a piece of the USS Arizona in our garden was placed in the mess hall of the new USS Arizona nuclear submarine on December 7th, 2022. This is your Texas Panhandle War Memorial, the place for you to reflect, to remember, and to honor our Panhandle veterans. To our veterans here today, happy Memorial Day, and thank you for your service. Our next guest really needs no introduction, but I'm going to give a short one because it's an honor and a privilege to introduce our United States Congressman Ronnie Jackson. He's a Navy veteran and obviously a doctor, as when we called for one, he jumped off the stage. He's a fellow Texan. But most of all, and the greatest title that he holds, is citizens of the greatest country in this world, the United States of America. It is my humble honor to call him a friend. Ladies and gentlemen, Congressman Jackson. If at this time everybody would rise, we're going to be a few seconds early, and I draw your attention to the flag in the Memorial Garden as the volleys will raise it to full staff as required. And military and service people, you can give proper salute. You may be all seated.
Well, thank you. I want to start off by saying keep our sister Kendra in your prayers here. She's doing fine right now. She's getting great medical care. So, just continue to think about her. Well, I'm Ronnie Jackson, and I am the congressman from the 13th Congressional District of Texas, which is the entire Panhandle and a lot of North Texas. It's an honor to be your congressman and to represent so many patriotic, good people. And so I want to thank you for having me here today. I want to thank the Texas Panhandle War Memorial Center for putting on this important ceremony for us today. I want to thank our Medal of Honor recipient and true American patriot, Mr. Dwight Birdwell, for his service to our country, sir. Thank you. And thank you for taking time to be here today. And I want to thank all of you that are in attendance today for taking time out of your schedule and for being here as well. Thank you. I'll be brief. I'm just going to start off by saying a few things. Today, this has already been said, but we're here to honor those who have made the supreme sacrifice today. We're here to honor those who did not come home, those that gave their lives to preserve our life, our liberty, and the freedoms that we enjoy here in the United States of America. That's what today's about. Many of you have heard me talk about this before. I'm also a Navy veteran, spent 25 years in the United States Navy. Was blessed to spend part of my time with the 2nd Marines, so hoorah. Some of you have heard me talk about this before, but I was in Iraq on the battlefield with the Marines, and I've seen this sacrifice firsthand on the battlefield. I've had young soldiers, sailors, and Marines that have died lying on the stretcher right before me. I've also had the unpleasant task of telling their teammates that they didn't make it, and of meeting with their devastated families afterwards and speaking with them as well. I'll tell you right now, there's absolutely nothing you can say or you can do that will lessen the pain and the loss that they feel when this happens. However, today we are also here to honor these Gold Star families. These Gold Star families that these service members left behind when they gave it all for us. Every day is Memorial Day for these families, and we want to thank you for your sacrifice, and we want to let you know that we will never forget the sacrifice of your loved ones and the sacrifice of your family. So thank you. And I'll just say briefly, though Memorial Day traditionally marks the beginning of summer, I just want to reiterate, it is not a holiday. It is not a day off work. It is not about picnics, barbecues, and fun at the beach. That is not what this day is about. This day is about honoring sacrifice and reflecting on the unique freedoms this sacrifice has afforded us. Therefore, from this day forward, I want to make sure that we do everything we can to keep the flame of freedom burning brightly so that those that sacrificed did not do so in vain. We should never, ever take these sacrifices for granted. We should rededicate our lives to the cause that these heroes died for, a strong, a free, and a prosperous United States of America. I'm going to tie it up here because I know you're all here to hear our guest speaker, our keynote speaker speak, but I just want to say once again, I thank you all for coming today, and I thank you for giving your time to tell this country and to tell these families that you care and that you will never forget that freedom is not free. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
So at this time, I have the honor, distinct honor, and pleasure to introducing our guest speaker, keynote speaker, as Congressman Jackson put it, Dwight Wayne Birdwell, Medal of Honor recipient. Specialist 5, Dwight Birdwell, was born here in Amarillo. He was here till when he was 3 years old. His family moved to Bell, Oklahoma, where he graduated from high school. Upon graduation, immediately upon graduation, he entered into the United States Army. That was in 1966. He was eventually assigned to Troop C, 3rd Squadron, 4th Cavalry, 25th Infantry Division. Dwight served a tour on the DMZ in Korea and then on to the Republic of Vietnam. During his service, he was awarded 2 Silver Stars, 1 Bronze Star, and 2 Purple Hearts. After getting out of the Army, Dwight went back to school and attended Northeastern State University and then on to the University of Oklahoma College of Law, graduating in 1976. In 2022, Dwight was presented the Medal of Honor by the President of the United States for his actions during an attack on a U.S. Air Force base, Tonson's Keynote. I think I pronounced that right. That's close enough. Commonly known as the Tet Offensive. For more information, please read the back of your program. You will be amazed. Dwight was a member of the Judicial Appeals Tribunal, Supreme Court of the Cherokee Nation from 1987 to 1999, serving as the nation's Chief Justice from 1995 through 96, and then 1998 through 99. He is now a practicing attorney in Oklahoma City. For a number of years, he served on the Cherokee Nation Judicial Appeals Tribunal. Please join me now in welcoming Mr. Dwight Wayne Birdwell.
Please be seated. Thank you very much for the kind words. I especially want to thank the Congressman for his service to the USA and to the citizens of Texas. I'm humbled to be here today. I know you could have found somebody much, much better, but really I'm glad you didn't. Hopefully I won't embarrass you. While I was in Vietnam, I met a gentleman from Ohio named Frank Huff. And Frank was not necessarily an educated man, but he had wisdom and he was bright. And he made it, survive from Vietnam. And one time he was talking with me and he told me, I sure do appreciate those who served with me and didn't come home, as well as those from past wars. He said, you know, because of them, I got to come home to a loving family. I met a wonderful woman. I have grandchildren. I got to taste cherry pie again. And he said, I always will be grateful for their service. And I will never, ever forget my commitment and duty and obligation to remember them. Frank died a few months ago from a disease related to his service in Vietnam. But I think today, thinking about the humble words of Frank Huff, we all owe a great debt of gratitude to those who served and didn't make it back, both men and women. And because of them, we enjoy the freedom we do. This morning early in the hotel, I saw a lady wearing a t-shirt. On the back of it, it said wild and free. I don't know what she meant by wild and free, but I have a good idea. And wild and free, to my way of thinking, is greatly a debt of gratitude to those who didn't make it back. And certainly to you family members who lost loved ones, who did not come back, my heart is with you and will always be with you. I felt all my time since Vietnam, knowing many who lost loved ones, that you die personally a day at a time, maybe a little bit, maybe a lot, but thank you all, and I appreciate again being here. It's an honor, and thank you very much.
You may be seated. Thank you again, Mr. Birdwell, for taking time out of your busy schedule to come to Amarillo and honor us with the commitments and the actions that you have taken. And we pray for you as you continue your journey, because I know you're busy going around the country. At this time, please welcome back Miss Heather Anthony for the singing of God Bless America. time, please direct your attention to the wreath and the wreath bearers. Our memorial wreath will be laid today by two United States Air Force veterans, Captain Susie Davis and Sergeant James Weir. Both veterans are members of the Volley for Veterans.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains' majesty above the fruited plains. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for painted dreams that sees beyond the years. Thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shine.
At this time, we'll have our salute to the services. We will now salute your service. Flags being carried by members of the VFW Post 1475. When you hear your branch hymn and see your flag go by, please stand and present honor. Well, now we will have Amazing Grace will be performed by Adam Cox from the Amarillo Fire Department and John Sanders. Thank you, Adam. That was beautiful, and thank you for what you do as a first responder. At this time, stay standing and face the memorial to offer respect for the playing of Echo Taps, played today by Army veteran Norman Cordova and Navy veteran Don Drake, both members of Volleys. Thank you, gentlemen. At this time, you may be seated. There's a reason for that. I want to thank, again, the Panhandle Warbird Flight, Congressman Jackson for coming, Volley for Veterans, the VFW Post 1475, Adam Wilcox, Jonathan DeBoard, thank you, Chaplain, Mr. Birdwell, thank you very much for coming, Heather, and the Paladuro Junior ROTC program, and also the Conservatives of Texas. Conservative of Texas is made up of adults and young people, but they were instrumental in getting this set up for us. And they did it in short order, getting all this set up. It just doesn't happen as quick as you think. And I want to say a special thanks to our executive director, Tim Reed. Give him a hand. He's amazing. He works, in my opinion, 24/7. He's dedicated to the Texas Panhandle War Memorial Center and all the pieces and parts that are here. Ladies and gentlemen, veterans, this concludes our service, our Memorial Day ceremony. However, I need you to wait for a moment as we transition to the Daughters of the American Revolution dedication presentation. After the completion of the Daughters program, we encourage you to take time to stick around, look around, go inside, go downstairs. If you haven't been downstairs, there's a lot of demonstrations downstairs. But visit our educational center. We thank you for attending today. If you would, just wait for a little bit while the ladies get set up.